Congratulations, you have clicked on the right video because today I'm going to tell you practically how to master the skill of public speaking. I'm actually traveling tonight and I have to leave home exactly in 2 hours. But I was like, I have to film this video because I want to talk to you guys about this. So here I am filming the video and it's a little challenging, a little uncomfortable, but I'm here for the challenge. So let's get into it. You know, when you're at a social event and you're having a great time, you're having a nice time, so much fun, maybe at your office or your school or college, family gathering, and someone out of nowhere decides to come to you and say, why don't you share a few words? Why don't you share your experience or how you're feeling today? And suddenly out of nowhere, you can feel all of it. Your whole body can feel the nerves, right? I know that feeling because I've been there, I've done that. I even had to hide under a table one time because someone asked me to speak on stage. Literally, no, I'm not even kidding, I had to hide under a table. That is exactly why this video exists. So I wanted to share everything from my knowledge that has made me a confident public speaker. So you know when you're about to speak in front of the public, you feel like your heart is beating too fast and you're breathing so heavily, your stomach has the butterflies and you're trembling and your mouth goes dry. All these things happen. Let me tell you why this is happening to our body. So when we're nervous about the situation, our body actually seems to think of this as a threat. And when your body detects a threat, it goes into the flight or fight response. So that is what's happening inside the body. So if we're talking about the biology here, shout out to my dad because he was the one who explained this biological process to me. When you feel nervous, part of your brain called amygdala detects this as a threat and it sends a signal to the hypothalamus, and then your body starts releasing hormones like the adrenaline and cortisol. These are really powerful hormones. They actually make physical changes to our body to help us react quickly. So this is what is going on inside our body. So first of all, I want you to realize that this is totally normal. There is nothing wrong with you. So when you feel like your heart is beating too fast, it's because it's sending blood to areas like the brain and the muscle, preparing you for action. And you're breathing too heavily because your body is trying to take in as much as oxygen as possible. And you start sweating. This is because your sweat glands activate to cool your body down. And you notice that your mouth goes dry, right? It's because your body knows that digestion is not important now because you are in a stressful situation and digestion is not important. So it just temporarily stops the saliva production. Look at all of these. Your body is doing this to help you. Your body is helping you to go fight it. So this is your body going into flight or fight response. This response is actually there to prepare us for action, giving us more focus, making us more alert, and preparing us for the action. So this is like your body telling you, I've got you. Let's do this. Our body is trying to help us in every way possible. So now that we know this is normal, every single time you have that feeling, it's just my body trying to help me to go up there and speak. And also a quick fact. Did you know that if you look at the statistics, more than 70% of the world's population is afraid of public speaking? It's an actual thing. I think it's called glossophobia. More than 70% is more than half of the population. And it's even often considered to be more scarier than death itself. People are more afraid of public speaking than death. And also public speaking is a high income skill. Just think about it. If you're able to master this skill, then there's pretty much nothing you cannot do. So the first thing I want to say is, we've heard prepare so many times. If you have a speech the next day, you should prepare a lot. But let me tell you, I'm here to say that is BS. That is literal BS because, of course, you need a little bit of preparation. But that's a very small part of it. Please don't over-prepare. Speaking from my personal experience, I've never gotten anything good out of over-preparing. So I want to go back to when I was in my 12th grade and I was participating for a poem recitation. It was a very tiny poem. I think it was The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. It was a very tiny poem, but I took 2 weeks to practice it. 2 weeks. Actually, in the first week, I was prepared, or maybe within 2 to 3 days, I was prepared, but I kept preparing myself over and over again because I felt like I was not ready. And on the other side, I have my brother, and we were both competing for the same competition, and he didn't even prepare. So he wrote it down. Remember him writing it down. When I looked at his poem, I think it was almost like 6 pages long. Literally, it was something from William Shakespeare and was 6 pages long. I only saw him looking at it the night before. And when I saw him doing that, I was totally thinking to myself, I don't think he's gonna do well for the competition, obviously, because how, it's not possible, right? So I thought he would not make it. I didn't want to tell him, but I thought he wouldn't make it. And yeah, the next day we were both gonna compete, and it was my turn first. I went up on the stage, even backstage. I was preparing for 2 weeks, but I was preparing even more backstage. When I went up on stage, I swear to God, I only got one stanza. The second stanza, I couldn't get it out of my mouth. I stood there for a minute because I didn't want to walk out of stage, so I stood there for a minute thinking about, what is my next line? Nothing came to my mind. I think I just said something and I just left the stage, and that was my 2 weeks of preparation. And then after two or three other students, it was my brother's turn. And I was kind of sad for him because I felt like, he didn't prepare at all. Probably would go wrong. That's what I expected. Mans was on the stage and he was just, it was awesome. Honestly, I remember seeing it. I was like, wow, how did you do that? How did you do that? That's what I was thinking. And he ended up getting first place for that competition. And after that competition, that made me realize, please don't over prepare. And anyone who tells you to prepare so much, then don't trust them. Because even after that, in college, so I was in the students' union and I had to make speeches in every event that was conducted in my college. Towards the beginning, I was kind of nervous to speak, so I prepared, but everything that I prepared when I went up on stage, it didn't come out. And the next time I decided to change things up a little bit. I decided to not prepare much, just have the points in my mind what I want to speak. Just go and speak. And after that, every speeches I've done in my life, I'm super proud of it. When you've prepared it once, you're doing it over and over and over again, you're actually telling yourself that you're gonna mess up. Why do you keep preparing over and over again? Because you think that you're gonna mess up and you don't trust yourself, right? And when you don't trust yourself and when you believe that you're gonna mess it up, how do you expect to go up on stage and think that I'm gonna ace this? Obviously not. You're not gonna ace it because you were preparing so much thinking that you're gonna mess it up. And why are you surprised when you actually mess it up? Yeah, don't write these notes down. Don't just keep writing these notes down. Just have the points in your head. If you want to write down on paper, it's fine. Maybe write down the points and build up from the point. And honestly, just think about this. When you see someone speaking on stage and you're just listening to them say whatever that comes onto their mind, it actually feels good, right? Those kind of speeches is what makes the impact and what stays in people's minds. Nobody wants to hear something that's written down on a script or something that's memorized. Nobody remembers it. Next time when you're going up there to speak, be in that flow state. Let everything that's coming to you come to you. Don't try to stop it. When you're trying to control all of these things, right, happening to your body, happening to your surroundings, that is when you'll feel like your mind is all over in the place. Just don't try to control everything. Let everything happen. And now the most important part, visualization. The most powerful technique for public speaking is, of course, visualization. Many successful athletes, before the actual game, they see them winning it 100 times or even more in their mind before it actually happens. If you just take a look at the interviews, they always say in the interviews, this is the same thing that you have to bring in to your public speaking. And now here's the mistake you're making with visualization. When you're visualizing, you're not supposed to visualize, close your eyes and you are doing it so awesome and you're winning it. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to visualize from your desired self. You have your desired self and your current self, right? The person that you are today and the person that you want to be. The one who's really confident and can speak to anyone, just anywhere. And you should not be visualizing from your desired self. You have to visualize from your current self. When you're visualizing, close your eyes, use 5 of your senses. You know that feeling in the stomach, right? The butterflies in the stomach, hands sweating, your feet trembling, your mouth going dry. Feel all of it. Imagine all the things that is happening inside your body. And regardless of all those feelings, you're just going there, you're standing there, preparing yourself, and you're giving your best speech. Do it over and over and over again before you have that speech. I don't over prepare now, but I always see myself doing the best, absolute, wonderful job. And please take that opportunity Because how often do you get chances to go and speak in front of the public? Not every day, right? It doesn't happen every day. So when you get that chance, you should go and take it. Just take it. I don't care if you're gonna mess it up or you don't know what you're doing. Just go ahead and do it anyways. Even if you're gonna mess it up, just go and do it. You know why? Because there's your desired version, there's your current version. The person you want to become, the person you are now. How do you expect to just jump from here to here? I don't know. I don't know how do you jump. You can only do micro jumps. Jump, 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 and get here. So just think of these opportunities or these chances as those tiny, tiny jumps that take you to your desired version. And yes, don't try to sound perfect. I've heard this so many times from my friends, I didn't say this, I was supposed to say this, I had this in my mind, but it didn't come out at the right moment, or maybe I messed up, this place I felt like I messed up. I should have not said this, but I should have said that instead. These are all thoughts inside your head. Everybody sitting there listening to you did not know any of these things. They didn't know you missed out on something that you wanted to say, or you messed up here. You know it because you know your topic well, you know all the things that you had to say. But nobody sitting there listening to you knows that, right? All they know is that you came here, you spoke, you did a wonderful job, that was confident, loved listening to that. Everything else is inside your head. Okay? Sometimes, your fear is some people are gonna laugh at you, right? And the people who laugh at you, right? If you ask them to come here and speak, they wouldn't. They would not. Because a person who has mastered the skill of public speaking knows what it takes to be on stage and to do that. So they wouldn't make fun of you. The ones that make fun of you or laugh at you when you're speaking are the ones who have no idea how to do it. So they're just laughing at you or making fun of you just because they can feel a little better about themselves. And we often hear this, eliminate the fear of public speaking. And I wanted to say to you, don't try to eliminate it. Even the most experienced or the best speakers around the world, they still experience the fear when they're about to speak. I've heard in most of the interviews when they're saying they still experience it. So it's not about eliminating it. Because with public speaking, every time you do it is a new experience. First time, today you're gonna speak in front of an audience, and tomorrow you're gonna speak in front of a different audience. So it's a different experience with public speaking every time. And as long as you're trying to eliminate it or completely stop the fear, you're not winning. The difference with the people who are so good at it is that they're so good at using it. So I talked about how our body's actually helping us, right? So we should use this fear as the fuel. Our fear should be our fuel to go face that speech. So it's about making that fear your best friend and taking that fear in your hands and then doing it. Because it's not going anywhere. You're gonna have to take it with you. Like I told you, I don't practice so often, but what I do when I practice is that I practice in front of the mirror. When you're practicing in front of the mirror, you're actually able to see your hand gestures, your body language. You're able to see all of it, right? So when you're practicing, like I said, don't over practice or don't over prepare, but when you're doing it, do it in front of a mirror. So these are all the things that actually help me get better at speaking in front of people. And so I wanted to share this with all of you, and I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And now it's time for me to go. I have to rush to the airport now. So I'll see you guys in another video. Until next time, bye bye.